He loved us. Encyclical of Pope Francis on the Heart of Jesus following. The heart unites the fragments. Number 17. At the same time, the heart makes all authentic bonding possible, since a relationship not shaped by the heart is incapable of overcoming the fragmentation caused by individualism. Two monads may approach one another, but they will never truly connect. A society dominated by narcissism and self-centeredness will increasingly become heartless. This will lead in turn to the loss of desire, since as other persons disappear from the horizon, we find ourselves trapped within walls of our own making, no longer capable of healthy relationships. As a result, we also become incapable of openness to God. As Heidegger puts it, to be open to the divine, we need to build a guest house. We see then that in the heart of each person there is a mysterious connection between self-knowledge and openness to others, between the encounter with one's personal uniqueness and the willingness to give oneself to others. We become ourselves only to the extent that we acquire the ability to acknowledge others, while only those who can acknowledge and accept themselves are then able to encounter others. The heart is also capable of unifying and harmonizing our personal history, which may seem hopelessly fragmented, yet is the place where everything can make sense. The Gospel tells us this in speaking of Our Lady, who saw things with the heart. She was able to dialogue with the things she experienced by pondering them in her heart, treasuring their memory, and viewing them in a greater perspective. The best expression of how the heart thinks is found in the two passages in St. Luke's Gospel that speak to us of how Mary treasured, in Greek, suneterei, all things and pondered, in Greek, sumballusa, them in the heart. Luke chapter 2 verse 19 and 51. The Greek verb sumballein, ponder, evokes the image of putting two things together, symbols, in one's mind and reflecting on them in a dialogue with oneself. In Luke 2, verse 51, the verb used is dieterei, which has the sense of keep. What Mary kept was not only her memory of what she had seen and heard, but also those aspects of it that she did not yet understand. These nonetheless remained present and alive in her memory, waiting to be put together in her heart. In this age of artificial intelligence, we can't forget that poetry and love are necessary to save our humanity. No algorithm will ever be able to capture, for example, the nostalgia that all of us feel, whatever our age and wherever we live, when we recall how we first used a fork to seal the edges of the pies that we helped our mothers or grandmothers to make at home. It was a moment of culinary apprenticeship, somewhere between child play and adulthood, when we first felt responsible for working and helping one another. Along with the fork, I could also mention thousands of other little things that are a precious part of everyone's life. A smile was elicited by telling a joke, a picture we sketched in the light of a window, The first game of soccer we played with a rag ball, the worms we collected in a shoebox, a flower we pressed in the pages of a book, our concern for a fledgling bird fallen from its nest, a wish we made in plucking a daisy. All these little things ordinary in themselves, yet extraordinary for us, can never be captured by algorithms. The fork, the joke, the window, the ball, the shoebox, the book, the bird, the flower, all of these live on as precious memories kept deep in our heart. This profound core present in every man and woman is not that of the song, but of the entire person in his or her unique psychosomatic identity. Everything finds its unity in the heart, which can be the dwelling place of love in all its spiritual, psychic, and even physical dimensions. In a word, if love reigns in our heart, we become, in a complete and luminous way, the persons we are meant to be, for every human being is created above all else for love. In the deepest fiber of our being, we were made to love and to be loved. For this reason, when we witness the outbreak of new wars, with the complicity, tolerance, or indifference of other countries, or petty power struggles of the partisan interests, we may be tempted to conclude that our world is losing its heart. We need only to see and listen to the elderly women from both sides who are at the mercy of these devastating conflicts. It is heartbreaking to see them mourning for their murdered grandchildren or longing to die themselves after losing the homes where they spent their entire lives. Those women who were often pillars of strength and resilience amid life's difficulties and hardships, now at the end of their days are experiencing, in place of a well-earned rest, only anguish, fear, and outrage. Casting the blame on others does not resolve these shameful and tragic situations. To see these elderly women weep and not feel that this is something intolerable is a sign of a world that has grown heartless. Whenever a person thinks, questions, and reflects on his or her true identity, strives to understand the deeper questions of life, and to see God or experiences the thrill of catching a glimpse of truth, it leads to the realization that our fulfillment as human beings is found in love. In loving, we sense that we come to know the purpose and goal of our existence in this world. Everything comes together in a state of coherence and harmony. It follows that in contemplating the meaning of our lives, perhaps the most decisive question we can ask is, do I have a heart